For those of you listening on the pod,
welcome in hour 2. Let's get into it, boys. Let me drop this down real quick, and let's talk a little Jayden Reed. I ain't gonna lie, man. This pissed me off earlier today. There's nothing I can stand more, or can't stand more, I should say, than phantom stats, where people have the luxury of just saying, here are the stats, and you go, how'd you get that? Show me the plays, and crickets, right? Nobody will back it up with any tape. So this kind of happened in talks with Jayden Reed earlier today. And again, I'm not saying Jayden Reed is a top 5 receiver in the league. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's, should be considered a Justin Jefferson. I'm simply saying these people that are pretending like he is such a bad football player have lost their damn minds. So Warren Sharp put a tweet out earlier today. Now, I want you to listen to it. I'm going to try to walk everybody along here, okay? He said, highest percentage of receiver error causing incompletions. Have you guys, raise your hand if you've ever heard of a statistic that was referred to as receiver error causing incompletions?
Nope, new to me.
I said, this is going to be good.
This receiving is tough.
So I cannot wait to see how they came up with this. Well, it took me forever to dig through and try to find what. First of all, you don't even have a real formula. I want you to look at his formula here, okay? So somebody said, love to know how errors were calculated. Here's what Warren Sharp said. Percentage of attempts that were incomplete due to receiver errors, such as receiver drops, lost control at the ground, didn't get both feet in bounds but should have, fell down, and a couple other smaller instances.
None of which I can define or back up with tape.
Exactly. It broke me down, Tim. A couple other smaller instances. What the hell does that even mean?
What does that even mean?
That just covers him. Him saying that gives him freedom to this, yeah.
Right. Well, you don't know how we did this. And that's what bothers me about PFF from time to time, because it's here's our stats, but they won't tell you here's the play. All you gotta do is down distance on this play. If you're charting the game like you're claiming you're charting the game, you should have that. Third quarter, 152 left, 3rd and 8. There's a drop. Right. Yeah. That's how you chart games. So this is what I tweeted back. I quote tweeted him and said, if you don't know the play call, you don't know the play call that was called in from Coach LaFleur, right? You have no idea what the play call was. You don't know the choice routes that are attached to that specific play. You guys hear me all the time on Chalk Talk. We'll go, I think this is the play call, and we'll rattle it off. However, we don't know if there's a choice route called on that play. Mm-hmm. We don't know if that receiver ran the wrong play or not. Nobody knows. He could have, right? I'll tell you who's a good gauge of it is Kurt Warner, because he's played in an NFL offense and he knows what to look for. And if you had told me, if Kurt Warner had sent that tweet out, I'd go, touche. Mm-hmm. My man, Hall of Fame quarterback, knows what the hell he's talking about. We don't even know who – it's like what Michael Lombardi always said, Emilio. You have to evaluate the evaluator, right? Who's evaluating the evaluator? Who's grading the guy who's grading the tape? Nobody. We don't even know who the hell they are.
Who the hell is Mel Kiper in a way?
Perfect job. And so we don't know the choice routes. We don't know the play call. We don't know the line checks. We don't know how many when Jordan comes to the line, you see him. We don't know what he's checking to. You don't know what he's checking. How can you possibly say a receiver ran the wrong route or a receiver made an error on this play when you don't even know what the check was? And we don't even know what the quarterback signals are, because you see him come to a line. Remember last year you seen Jordan look over to the right and tap his watch, right? He pointed to his, and what he was doing was changing the play up and basically calling a seam route to Tucker Kraft. Well, we know that, right? Because the play worked, Jordan went straight to him, knew exactly where he was going with the football, right? Mm-hmm. If Tucker had ran another route, we don't know if Tucker had run the wrong route or Jordan, didn't understand the check he was trying to make, right? We never know that information. So I just want to put that out. And I said, how do you know the receiving errors outside of drops, which even vary from side to side? You can go to PFF and look at drops, and you go to ESPN and look at drops, and they're different. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, who's evaluating the tape? So he went on to say, among 103 players with over 60 targets, Jayden Reed was 103 and Dontavion Wicks was 102. The two highest rates of wide receiver error causing incompletions of any two players in the NFL. Absolutely terrible.
Based upon what?
Exactly. Now, here's the thing that gets me. I put this tweet out earlier in the year. Now, imagine a world where both of these things can be possible. That Jayden Reed made the most errors of any wide receiver in the entire National Football League, okay? but he still had more yards in 24 on 19 less targets than 23. His catch percentage increased from 68.1% to 73.3%. He averaged 3.2 yards more per reception. His catch rate over expected increased by 0.2%, and his yak over expected increased by 41 yards. And oh, by the way, he just happened to be the leading receiver in passer rating when targeted. Somebody explain to me how in the hell the receiver that made the most errors on incompletions, whatever that means. Again, we don't know what that means.
Whatever that means. Other smaller things.
Right.
Still led the league with a 137.5 passer rating when targeted. How can both of those things be true? Somebody help me here.
I don't think
one is rooted in reality, the other in fantasy. And if you teeter back and forth between the fantasy world that you've created for yourself and reality, I guess they can both be true, right?
Yeah. It blew me away. And somebody had the best response. They said, I'm trying to think. I think it was Anthony is his name. He's followed the channel for a while and our Twitter account for a while. Ed Madden said Warren Sharp is farting out the wrong end. What?
You think God never farted?
What Anthony said on X was, yeah, this is that dude that says, trust me, bro, buy my book. If you subscribe to Sharp Analysis, his website, it's over $1,000 a year is what it costs.
Wow.
it does.
So if you want to know how he did it, send me a check. You know what I mean? Type thing. So anyway, it's just really, really strange. So anyway, so here's what I did today. I had a little bit extra time with the rain. Having access to every single Jayden Reed 2024 target makes tweets like Sharp's very easy to debunk. When you mention Jayden Reed's NFL leading 137.5 passer rating when targeted, the pushback you typically get is, quote, he was horrible in the second half of the season, though. Right? How many times have we heard that? Well, go look at the second half of the season. He was bad. He was horrible. Okay. Let's take a look at every single Jayden Reed target that fell incomplete in the last 5 games of the season. I did 5 because I'm not combing through the whole second half. Let's look at the last 5 games of the season. Down the stretch when it matters the most, right? This is where supposedly Jayden Reed played his absolute worst football. In the last 5 weeks of the 24-25 season, playoffs including, Jayden Reed was targeted 20 times with only 5 falling incomplete. I repeat, he was throwing the ball 20 times. 15
of them.
5 of them fell. No, they fell incomplete, Tim. 5 fell.
That's what I'm saying. So, these are all okay.
So check
20
this.
targets with only 5 falling incomplete. So that would be 15 catches then, right?
Right. Of those 5 passes, 5 were incompletions, right? 3 don't touch his hands. 1, he slipped and fell running the route. Okay. So 3 of them couldn't have been a drop because they never touched his damn hands. 2 of them were inaccurate throws, and 1 he fell down. 1 got defended through his back where the DB came in from Minnesota and punched through his back, and you see Jayden Reed calling for a flag. You can see it plain as day. It was pass interference that didn't get called. I'm not worried about the flag. I'm just simply pointing, is that a drop? That's a drop that the defender hit him when the ball got there and the ball flew out. That's called a pass defended, not a drop.
Not
right?
a drop.
That's the way I see it. He caught all 4 targets in the playoff game against Philly, right? People were saying, we really needed him in Philly. He disappeared. He was targeted 4 times. He caught the ball 4 times. I don't know what else he could have done there, right? So he finished the season, like I said, with the second highest passer rating when targeted. So now we're going to take a risk here. I'm going to do it anyway, all right? We're going to go to the tape, and we'll see. This is going to be a good test for us tonight, all right? And see if the stream goes down, guys. If the stream goes down, it'll come back up. If it doesn't come back up in time, you got something to do. I'll make sure this video is cut, edited, and approved by YouTube so their crappy AI does not screw up somebody's channel like it always does. All right. Here are those 5 incompletions we just talked about. I've got them all on tape here. Y'all ready to hit it?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. So here we go. If you'll notice, Jayden Reed is right here. He's the number 3. You can see my cursor, right? Yeah, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the number 3 receiver. 1, 2, 3. They're in a trips right or what we call a nub left look. Let's watch the route here. All right. So he's going to run an out route. That's where he slips down. Okay. And falls. Not a drop. He slipped running the route. Call that an error. I'm totally cool with it. Let's call it one of Warren Sharp's errors here that he mentioned, right? So there's one of the 5 incompletions. Here's the second one up here. Again, he's the 3. We always talk about speed to 3. There he is in the 3 again, and they're going nub right this time. Let's watch him on this route. Come out, going to run a deep corner route. Notice the ball never touches his hands. It's overthrown. You with me?
Well, he should have laid out and dove for it and caught it.
Hey, I'm glad you said that, Tim, because we got one of those coming up here, right? So the ball never touched his hands. Right here is the one where I think the defender goes through his back, I believe. Yeah, this is it right here. First of all, no. This is different.
That's already holding right there.
Watch Jayden's going to run kind of a crosser here. Watch where Jordan throws the football.
Oh, yeah.
The ball is back here behind him.
Yeah, he threw the ball back to Green Bay on that play.
Again, so I'm guessing Warren Sharp said that's an error on Jayden Reed somehow, some way, right? I guess he was in the huddle and knew what the play call was, who knows, right? So again, I don't know if it was intercepted or not, but it doesn't really matter. Now here's another one. Jayden Reed is now on the number 2 up here. They're in a Trey Wright look, right? There's Tucker is the 3, Jayden's the 2. I'm pretty sure. Let's watch this route here. This is the one we were talking about, Tim. People were going to catch the ball, Jayden. That's a drop, right? Look, bad throw, full extension. Can you see him?
Mm-hmm.
Full extension hits his hands. That's considered a drop, I guess.
A ball that's thrown 6 inches off the turf. Yeah.
Honestly, a ball that's a little late. You run that back a little bit. Love should have had that to him.
Yeah, he could have hit him in stride.
Yeah, there's going to be another one late here in a minute, too.
Tuck clears so fast right there. Look how open this quick slant is. But he's looking. He's looking left, right? So he's waiting for Romeo to clear out. That doesn't open. He gets to Jayden Reed late.
Yep. And then again, look at where the pass is.
Yep. And he's also getting his tackle blocked right into his face as he's throwing that late pass as well.
Yeah, again, I'm glad you said that, Tim. This is not to take shots at Jordan. We're not saying, Jordan, this is horrible. I'm simply – these throws happen. But if we're going to mark that as a drop, you better go back across the entire freaking league and mark the drops accurately then. Because this is not a wide receiver drop, in my opinion.
Yeah, an incomplete pass is different than a drop pass, in my opinion.
Exactly. And it just so happened that was on 4th down, so you had the crybabies on Twitter kicking and screaming, catch the ball. That's exactly what So with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Now, this is the one I think, this is going to be the one that is should have been a pass interference call. So Jayden, I'm pretty sure, is working across the middle, kind of a little slot cross look. Now, look right here. The ball should be out. Look how open Jayden Reed is right here, right? So Jayden is just going to sit down in this zone and wait for the football and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, right? And then you see the defender come through his back, hit him in the back before the ball got there, and jars it loose. You see Jayden calling for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many drops did we see on those 5 incompletions in the last 5 games of the season?
I'm going to go with 0.
Like, if you were to say, no, that's a drop there. The defender hit him, and the defender broke it up, and that's okay, cool. Let's call it a drop. Let's do that. Fine. Are you going to say the diving attempt was a drop? And again, we pointed these plays out in the second half of the season, really simple, because when we mention how good of a year Jayden Reed had, the second half of the season was crappy. He had 20 targets his last 5 games of the season, 20 targets. He caught 15 of them. And the 5 incompletions, you can maybe argue that one was a drop. What are we even talking about here?
Yep.
So get your all's thoughts on it. I about lost my mind when I seen that stat, just how vague that stat was. And I'm like, I wanted to tweet at him and go, damn, Warren, is your engagement down that far, bub? Is that what's going on? You trying to do a little farming over there? Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Clint says he's charging $1,000 for this horse poop. And again, here's the thing, right? People don't expect you to go check this stuff. You know why? Because most people, especially the critics, the harsh critics, they're too lazy to watch the tape. And when they watch the tape, they don't even know what they're looking for, right? And then even when you watch the tape, you've got to run it through the filter of, we don't know what the play call exactly was. We don't know what the choice routes were. We don't know what the checks were at the line. We don't know what the hand signal, all those things, right?
Yep.
So
you can watch tape all you want. What are you watching? That's the other thing. What are you looking for when you're watching the all 22 or whatever, you know?
Exactly.
I think what stands out to me is your point about Emilio picked that up right away, that especially that late read. Really, it was a late throw because the read was late coming over to Bird. I think that's one part of the game, or one part of Jordan Love's game that I think this year in 2025 we're going to see more decisive, quicker reads. I think he's going to get to his second or third progression on time. We won't have to worry about a panicked, rushed late throw at somebody's shoelaces. I think we're going to see more in rhythm throws from Jordan this year. That's my way too early prediction.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point, Tim. And yeah, it's just you think that you're taking it away from him, but Jayden Reed over here he's being, head down, humble, keeps going, but nothing said about the deep bomb around 4 people that he made the catch on. You know what I mean? So it's like anything I can find negative of him, but you're not pushing up any positive. And then when you bring it up, Clay, with the the best receiver rating, how can you not take that not into consideration? But how do those numbers match up? I think that's a absolutely fair point.
Yeah, I mean that's again, it's not to go. Let me go prove him wrong. Please don't take this the wrong way. The way I approach stuff like this when I disagree is go, damn, I might have gotten it wrong. Let me go look at the tape.
Right, yeah.
That's all we're doing. We're just simply let's go check it and see if I'm wrong here. Right. So Holmes in the chat, people no longer appreciate nuance. No one wants to put in the work to really learn the game. It's so much more depthful if more would do so. The thing is, if there are fans out there that just want to, and I hate using the word casual fan because I hear other podcasters saying it makes me cringe. Yeah. If you just want to be a fan that watches the game and you don't care about the X's and O's, there's nothing wrong with that. You kidding me? It's probably more enjoyable than me over here losing my mind watching every single position, every single game.
But if that's your style of fanning, don't jump up in a film study and criticize people who are trying to learn,
Yeah, and darn sure don't climb in people's mentions. It's amazing how many people climb in the mentions and not even know what they're talking. And here's the other thing: there's no point in even arguing. Like I heard somebody say it the other day. It was like they don't do social media. I don't do social media. It's like, why don't you do social media, man? It's a great tool. It's good for gathering news, whatever, following your favorite sports team. It was because people go on there and they have arguments that they would not have face to face. They have arguments that they would never have with someone face to face because that's not how you communicate. It's like, this is a mental illness that people want to go on social media and start an argument knowing that you wouldn't communicate with that person in person. It's like this secondary identity or something, right? It's like it's why we say what we say on here all the time. If I wouldn't say it to a player's face, if I wouldn't say it to a coach's face, I'm not going to say it on the show. Right. That's weird. That's really, really weird. It is. So
Too Old for This says, I'm a semi-formal fan, not a casual fan.
I thought it said normal fan. I was going to poll that on it.
And then we got Greg Rice said, I'm an oscillating fan.
Nothing wrong with oscillating fan, especially when you lived in a trailer park like I did as a kid. Man, those things, boy, they bail you out in the middle of July, I promise. So, all right, I love the squeak.
Ron Sandville says, I am a box fan. All right.
You guys are out of control.
And we lost it.
Yeah, it's officially
there goes them chat ratings.
All right, so to the best of my knowledge, YouTube stayed up, so we're going to push it a step further here. All right.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Y'all ready to talk some Barryn Sorrell?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get back on the defensive side of the ball here.
There it is. Let's do some Barryn Sorrell chalk talk. What do y'all think?
Been waiting for this one. I think got to be, burnt to a crisp, Clay. I mean, how long has this thing been in the oven?
It's been sitting for a while, man. It's been sitting for a while. Now, this isn't even This isn't even the one that I was most excited about. The Colin Oliver one was the one where I went, holy cow. But still, again, we didn't try to grab highlights where it's like, all right, here are his best plays. Ryan put this together, and the goal is to show me where does he line up, and let's see a couple positive plays. There may be some negative in here as well, but I want to kind of show where did they use him in terms of deployment. Emilio, Tim, you guys listen to Greg Cosell all the time now, just like I do. What's he always talk about? How are they going to use him in terms of deployment? Right, it's a wide receiver, whether it's a tight end, whether is he going to be the U? Is he going to be the five? Is he going to flex? Is he going to play bound? You know what I mean? All those
right.
things.
Because Greg's not watching it to put him on, on any sort of specific scheme or team. He's just trying to figure out, all right, what does he do best in what scenario? Like I'm not watching tape for your team specifically. That's where something you got to figure out and say, is that something that's going to fit in our, in our routine and our ideas?
Right. Yep. So we're going to go 75% if that's cool with you guys, and kind of keep it a little bit, it's not full speed. So if he looks slow, it's because we're at 75%. All right. In this rep right here against Georgia, this is the SEC championship, the same game that Matthew Golden went off in, right? How cool is it that these two guys kind of stood out in the SEC championship game, and there's two guys that the Packers went and drafted, right? Big games, big players come out during big games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here he is lined up in a 4 tech. What do we mean by that? Again, if you guys don't know, when we talk 0, 2, 4, and everything in between, a 0 tech is what that nose tackle is playing right there. Let me go in the red. That's a 0 tech directly over the center. If somebody was over the guard, that would be a 2 tech on either side, okay? If they're over the tackle, that is a 4 tech. Now, you notice this guy right here is on the inside shoulder of the inside shoulder of the 4. We would call that a 4-eye. Now, if he was over just a half a step further, center mass here, that's that ever popular 3 tech that we talk about, right? You're kind of lined up in between the guard and the tackle there. So again, Barryn Sorrell in this rep, I would call it a 4. Some would say he's kind of on the outside shoulder. If you want to call it a 5, that's cool. We're splitting hairs. I would call that a 4 tech. If he was a 5, center mass would be here, in my opinion, on him. All right, so here he is in the 4 tech. Let's watch him. Little punch, little drive, bull rush, and you see the length there, kind of extending the arms. Nothing fancy, just collapsing the pocket a little bit, getting a little pressure. Here he is in the 7 tech. Again, outside. He would be the outside shoulder of the tight end if there was one. There's no tight end, so it's just a 7 tech still in a 4-point stance here off the edge. Just watch him on this rep. Against the tackle, look how quick.
They better start putting a tight end over on his side.
His ability to use his hands, let's watch it again real quick here. 75%, watch. Whoop. Just pushing the hands down. Let the tackle get out over his skis. Now there's a running back to beat. So he already beat the tackle. Now he beats the running back. Bull rushes him back. Look at him reaching over the running back.
That running back's life flashed before his eyes when he saw Sorrell coming off the edge.
Exactly. We got a question here. Holmes says wide 9. A wide 9 is, imagine, and here's the thing. People get very liberal when it comes to that's not a political term, please. I don't want to hear any complaints, okay? They use it, I don't know if liberally is the right word. Very freely, they'll just call something a wide 9, even though it's not a wide 9. There's nothing wrong with that, but a wide 9 is typically the outside shoulder of a second tight end. And the wide 9 became very popular in the NFL, stopping the wide zone run that took over with the Shanahan system, okay? So that would be a wide 9, the outside shoulder of a second tight end. So we just showed you a 7, thinking the outside shoulder of one tight end. A wide 9 would be on the outside shoulder of a second tight end if you were in a jumbo look on one side. So, nonetheless, though, with that play there, what you seen was Barryn Sorrell beating a double team, both the tackle and the running back. Here it is again. This is the same rep. Watch him swat the hands out of here. This poor running back didn't know what the hell to do. But look at him, man. Look at this, dude. Just running through his face, too. So now you've seen him in a 4 and you've seen him in a 7. Here he is in a 5 tech, okay? So with a 5 tech, he's outside shoulder of the tackle. Let's watch him on this rep. Now, notice they brung an extra rusher to kind of scrape off the outside there. So the guard had to slide over and pick him up. So he's actually, even though he's in a 7 tech, he's taking on the guard right now. And look at him just bull rush the guard, right? And again, just getting pressure in the quarterback's face. Here he is in what I believe is a 5. It's hard to see from the sideline cam, but I think this is a 5 tech. That's outside shoulder of the tackle. Watch him work outside, swat the hands again, and just comes free.
That tackle was having a problem with the hand game, man.
Yep. And again, why are we mentioning this? Is the same rep. Why are we mentioning the hands? This is one of his superpowers. See him swat the hand away? That's something to look for Barryn Sorrell as he get to the next level. He killed the quarterback too. Absolutely crushed him. Incomplete, right?
Right. What we're seeing here is speed, hands, and power is what we're seeing.
As Greg Rice says, heavy hands, right? Yep. Very well said. Very well said. All right, here he is now in a 7 tech on the opposite side. So we've seen him line up on the right the whole time. Now he's over to the left. What's that tell you? A little versatility with the pass rush, right? So here he is off this side. Look at him read the jet sweep.
On the touch pass, too.
Yeah, you're right. It was a touch pass.
That play was over before it started.
Yeah, here it is again. Watch him read and recognize. Keep in mind, guys, his head is down, 4-point stance, and watch him recognize this right out of the gate. No,
motion. Right there, you dead giveaway. So both tight ends are leaving you buck naked in the trailer park. What's coming your way? Yep. Some sort of read option, or they're trying to get a hat count past you.
Yeah. Here we are in a 5 tech on the left. It could be. I could be wrong here. It could end up being a more of a 4. It's kind of hard to see from this angle once again. But here we are at the 5 tech. All right, let's see. Going to be a little draw play. Now watch this. You know how easy it would be for him to think they're bouncing it. You see the guard or you see the player pulling. You know how easy it would be for him to bounce out here thinking the ball's going there. But he knows his gap assignment. His assignment is hold the ground, and you got to protect right here. Watch him stay at home. I'm pretty sure this is the play. Yeah, look. You know how easy it looks like the running back's bouncing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Staying at home, take the rush line.
Yep.
That's called gap sound.
Yep.
Love that rep.
That's how you stop the back from hitting you on those cutbacks, man. You take it away by staying home. That's what you got to do.
We talked about it the other day, Emilio. Josh Jacobs sets defenders up by jabbing in. He's really good at doing that, being very, very manipulative.
Bait him inside out. And there as a DN, you're sitting there engaged, kind of, straight arming them, trying to get a bar in between you and that O lineman just so you have a little bit of visibility, and then you can break it whenever you need to.
Yeah. Here we are again. It looks like a 5 tech to me. Could be a 4, but it looks like a 5 on the left side. That's against Michigan, it looks like. Again, the hands, you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Nailed the quarterback.
Man,
absolutely.
He can get free with those hands rapidly. He doesn't need a lot of space. It's just quick swat, go.
Yep. And again, here's the same rep. Watch him in the 5. That is definitely a 5 tech. See him swat the hand down. So it's like, if you'll notice, slow it down again. Look for it this time. It looks like he takes his inside hand, hits the chest, uses his outside hand to slap the hands down, and then dips around the edge. Right? Let's go 50%. See if you guys can pick it up here. Watch him slap the inside hand, bang. Or I'm sorry, he presses with the inside hand and slaps with the outside hand.
It's almost one motion too, how he does it.
Right.
Engage, boom, and I'm out. It's
accurate
like
too. Did you see 71's gloves his right glove came swinging down. He was accurate with his left hand swipe.
Yep.
He literally, you're thinking the tackle lost his right arm. That thing got swung over to his left side of his body. Now I need to redirect, get back outside, and try to stop him from running the circle.
Yeah.
I like his agility too when he makes his move and he gets that bend, gets around. It's like he's not reckless or out of control. Very good body control as he pursues the quarterback. It's awesome.
So now that we've looked at the hands, Tim, since you mentioned that, watch the legs. As the hands are working, the legs never stop, and that's what's going to get him around that edge. Is just keep the legs pumping. Watch the legs. Keep going, keep driving. You got the edge. And look how he put the quarterback into his right or his left tackle's back. Like huge. Those hits pile up. Again, pressure causing incompletion. Here we are in a 7 tech. So you'll notice now you got a tight end lined up over here, right? So now he's on the outside shoulder of the tight end. This is a 7 tech. Let's watch him work. I can't remember what this play was. So it's going to be a running play. So he's going to take on the second blocker in the backfield. Watch him hold the point of attack. Bang. In on the run play. So we've seen 2 run stops, essentially.
Yep.
All right, now here we go. This is where it gets fun. Now he's in a 3 tech. He's in between the guard and the tackle. All right, 3 tech left. That's exciting. Like if you could kick him in a 3 tech, if he proves he can do it at the NFL level, let's go, dude. A little versatility.
Yep.
They motion out to an empty set. Let's watch him work the guard. Oh, did you see him? Now it's a screen, right? So he realizes it, but he did try to use his hands there. Just absolutely crushes the quarterback. That's more of just a free run with the screen. But here's the wide 9 we talked about. Imagine 2 tight ends on that side. Now some would say, I still think it's a 7. I can understand that. But for me personally, I would call this a wide 9. Anytime you're 2 gaps wide of the tackle on an open set like this, I would call it a 9. Let's watch him work out of the 9. Is he going to use a speed rush? Are you going to come back inside? What's he going to do? Just straight bull, right? And again,
I like that he has that different stance too for the wide 9. He's in his track stance on the outside when he needs to be inside. He's still got his square base, still a little bit of forward pressure there, but able to still get that drive. Because I remember in modified high school, whatever it was, you're going down your 3-point stance, and on defense, you're leaning forward, right? And you have all your weight on your hand, or not all your weight, but a good amount of your weight. Offense, you're sitting there. They wanted to be able to just swipe your hand away underneath you. That way you have, that solid base. Mm-hmm. And that's where he gets that drive. That's where power comes into play so importantly, being able to beat somebody, straight up with power.
Yep. Yeah. We saw Reggie White do that back in the day all the time. Same thing out of that stance and just drive right through that tackle. Take them with you if you have to, if you can't get past them.
And with this bull rush here, speed to power. Watch him take the edge And that's a good pass set by the tackle. Plays it perfect. Right here, it's all right. Let's go speed and right into the bull rush. And you see, makes that quarterback have to step up, causes some discomfort, incomplete pass. Now, here he was at the Senior Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. I don't know who that is he's going up against, but he absolutely dominated the Senior Bowl, if I remember correctly. But let's watch him in a 7-tech, what would be a 7, I believe. Look at my man. Little punch pull. All right, little punch pull. And not really a swim either, though.
50.
You know?
That was isn't that Jones from LSU?
I think it is. So that punch pull, he literally punches him in the chest, grabs his jersey, pulls him down, and then you swim over the top, right? And, I mean, he plays it perfect. We haven't seen that on tape yet, but he showcased it. Obviously.
When you grab a hold of an offensive lineman's jersey and you start manhandling him just by yanking him around by the shoulder pads, that's a big man right there.
Absolutely. All right, here's a wide 9 look. Let's see him come off in a 3-point stance. Punch, drive, just straight bull rush right back into the quarterback.
He's quick off the snap, too. Another thing I noticed, he's not late out of his break at all.
This is something I noticed on his tape, too. A punch, pull, but no rip. And, you know, when we talk about the rip move, you got to be careful because they can hold you at the NFL level. We talked about that, and it's, you know, some officials call it, some won't. With the punch, pull, rip, you're gonna drive and punch, right? You're gonna pull him down, and then you rip your inside arm up, right? And typically they would try to hook you. Now at the NFL level, if they hook you, it's not a hold. But notice how you don't see a very distinctive rip. It's just a punch, pull, and then get your hips beyond that blocker. And to me, I wish Rashawn Gary would implement this a little bit because he gets held on about every play that he does a punch, pull, rip because they're allowed to hold now, right? Watch this. See what I'm talking about here? You don't really see a distinctive rip, right?
Yeah, he's just kind of like
dips.
Both hands, and then I'm going.
I guess you call it a punch, pull, dip instead of a rip.
Yeah, punch, pull, dip. There you go.
So you see the punch, going to pull, and just dip. There's no rip move. So pretty cool. And then right here, again, punch, pull. No rip. He does it over and over and over. That right there, that's a hell of a rip. Look at that offensive lineman. He's celebrating. Look, he ain't even going to go at the quarterback. He's just like, that's right, baby.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, this is it again. Again, look at the step. Look at the plant step, right? Bang. We're out. He's agile.
Look how far he got him over his skis.
Yeah. And he's using the tackles or the O-lineman's weight against him. You know, it's like once he gets that weight, move. Look at you're already ass over tea kettle. It's over. Bye. You're out of the play.
Yeah, that's not good coaching tape for that offensive lineman. They're going to go, Bub, what is this right here? What are we doing?
And he got drafted before Mr. Sorrell. Don't forget about that.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I bet Barryn remembers that too. I like how he pointed at the quarterback. Said,
did he fall all the way around? Did he just run the circle and end up all the way at the back?
Was that him or was that a different lineman? Surely that was a different lineman, right?
Same. 70 and 50. Okay, I was going to say, I thought the poor cat ran all the way around and then fell. We got LSU guys can't stay on their feet over here.
Somebody abused the hell out of 50 too. Look at this right here. But my man right here got the camera. He's like, oh, that ain't a good look. Let me get a picture.
He looks over at 70 like, damn, you got down too, man? Like, I thought we were supposed to be up.
All right, so there's a little Barryn Sorrell chalk talk. You want to go back on any of them? We good, fellas? We feel good about it?
I think we're good.
Yeah, right. I'm excited, man. I didn't get to see how explosive he was like that. I like the quick little snippet. You don't need anything crazy. I'd love to dive into how he kind of stops the run here and there, those sort of things. But just being able to see some of those pass rush moves, I think that we didn't spend high dollar on that pass rusher idea. But I think we focused a little bit more on pass rushing techniques and abilities on draft day this year than previous years. With Colin Oliver included.
Yeah. The next one, when we do Colin Oliver, man, I'm telling you, you're going to go, this dude, I mean, he's just so instinctive. So I don't know how he lasted in the 5th round. I really don't. Especially with the RAS and the 9s too, right?
Right.
RAS score out through the roof. Respect Orange just says he threw him so far out of the frame he came through the other side. It made me think of Excite.
That's what I thought.
You remember Excite back in the day? You could jump off the screen and you come back up on the bottom.
Yeah,
same exact thing. So, All right, Chris C in the house. Love Chalk Talk. Hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you hanging out with us, Chris. This is fun, man. We always
It didn't drop either.
Yeah, we're
nice.
good. And again, man, we're allowed to use it. Now, don't be surprised if all of a sudden this stream disappears later on tonight off the channel, and then it pops back up tomorrow. Because again, that's the AI detecting stuff, and it's nuts. But we'll try to work around it. And again, I'm going to break each segment down into separate videos. That way, if someone comes in, they just got 20 minutes to watch a clip. I've been trying to make the channel a little more convenient for y'all in that regard.
Makes it easy for sure. Yeah. That definitely helps.
Rather than go, man, I don't have time to watch the full hour 20 of the show. You can go through, all right, there's 3 clips. I'd like to see that segment. Try to do that. So just whatever we can do to make it more convenient for everybody. So anything else y'all want to hit on before we wrap up?
We could put a sharp tier on Patreon if you want. Just a nice, the $1K a month sort of deal, and just drop him over on the corner or
just as a reminder how cheap the Patreon is, right?
$100 or I mean, shoot, even 80, get us close to 1,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah, so that's a good way to lead into the promotion here. Appreciate you, Emilio, on that. Tomorrow we're doing a giveaway. All right, we're giving away an awesome card that was donated from our good buddy Rick Kruger. It's an autographed LVN rookie card. All right. And we're going to be giving that away tomorrow on the stream, on tomorrow night's stream, or whenever we go live. All you got to do is be a member of the $3 tier on Patreon. There's 3 different tiers. It's just there if someone wants to give extra. People have asked for that in the past, but $3 gives you access to everything.
But if you want a sharp tier, at $100, we can definitely make that happen.
Emilio. Sound like a used car salesman over here. Again, the reason we created the Patreon page, if you're new here, is we have people saying, hey, I want to support the channel. I want to support the channel. I put a Patreon page up, and it sat there for a year and a half, right? And people could just sign up as Patreon, no extra content, just a way to support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. But what we've done now is started to put a bunch of exclusive content on it. Like the articles you see us cover, you'll have access to it as soon as it drops. We'll be doing Chalk Talks on there all year long. I'm also going to do something this year. If you guys are looking for a one-stop shop kind of quick spot to get all the information for the games, when we do our post-game show and we go through the box score and stuff, I'm going to set up immediately following the game just a quick recap of the game. We'll do a quick little write-up. We'll give you the entire box score. You'll know going right there. That's where you can get all your information for the game. We'll also be doing stuff, breakdowns of PFF grades, things like that as well. So again, Patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, or scan the QR code in the upper right. Anybody who's a member of the $3 tier by midnight tonight, okay, is the cutoff. We're going to put everybody's name on the wheel tomorrow. We're going to spin that sucker, and whoever's name it lands on gets the autographed Lucas Van Ness card. So we look forward to giving that away. We got a bunch of giveaways, basically a giveaway every week for the next probably 3 months. We'll have autographed jerseys as well. So again, just a way for us to give back to those and show appreciation for everybody who's supporting the channel here on Patreon. We appreciate y'all. So anything else, gents? We good?
Ready to go.
I think we're good.
Tim said it's time to get out of here, man. He's ready to hit y'all with one.
We can keep talking about Barryn Sorrell all day. I mean, I have no problem with it.
We're going to save Colin Oliver for tomorrow.
Nice.
If we need some content, we'll hit on it. I've been trying to hold on to those because we've had stuff to talk about. And one of the other things we're going to do is go back and recap last year. We'll probably throw a couple Chalk Talks together for that. I'd like to do like maybe a Tucker Kraft episode where we get Tucker Kraft's top plays of the year and just do a Chalk Talk just on that. That would be fun, right? So we may break that down too. But anyway, appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Follow us on Twitter at Packers_access. And, check out the Patreon group. That's it. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody be safe out there. Friday night, you know how it is, man. It gets a little wild out there, all right? If you drink, don't drive. Do the watermelon crawl. And a special shout-out to Willin Al Swiderski with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Little cold beer cash for you, man. Emilio, you're not getting your cut. So all right, everybody have a great night. We appreciate you. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go, Pack, go.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.